Hello, my name is Zahraa. I'm an education specialist at the Detroit Zoological Society, where we celebrate and save wildlife every day. Today, I'm really excited to start a new series where we look at animal mysteries and misconceptions. We all have questions about animals. Questions like, do wolves really howl at the moon? Do ostriches really stick their heads in the sand? We'll look at these questions every week and see if they're fact or fiction. For our first episode, we'll take a look at whether it's dangerous or poisonous to feed bread to waterfowl like ducks and geese. Before we take a look at whether the statement is fact or fiction, let's learn a little bit more about these birds. Ducks, geese, and swan are waterfowl found commonly throughout Michigan. Some species might migrate for the winter, but others remain year-round and are our constant companions. Here at the Detroit Zoo, resident trumpeter swans, Leslie and Ron, share their space at the Cotton Family Wetlands with visitor ducks and geese year-round. When we come across these birds in the park or even in our own backyards, we probably have all been tempted to feed them, breaking off pieces of our sandwiches and giving them little bits of bread. But is that safe for them, and is it a good idea? Let's find out. These birds look for food both in water and on land. Many of the birds eat small insects, seeds, and plants found in or near water. When we feed them bread, we are giving them food with very little nutritional value. Small amounts of bread won't hurt them, but it doesn't offer much. Feeding them in public spaces like parks gets them comfortable with coming up to humans for food, usually bread, and that is where the long-term problems can happen. Angel wing syndrome can develop in waterfowl that are fed by humans. When flocks get used to being fed bits of bread and other unnatural foods by people, they don't work as hard to find their own food, so they don't get enough exercise. They're usually also eating a lot at once. And eating a lot at once, especially for young birds, can cause their feathers to grow too fast and doesn't give them a chance to get their bones developed and become strong enough to support them. Their wings grow incorrectly and can affect their ability to fly, leaving them vulnerable to attacks in the wild. Trumpeter Swan Leslie Knope was rescued in Shelby Township late last year after developing angel wing syndrome as a young bird. Angel wings cause developmental problems and Leslie couldn't fly. So, is bread safe for waterfowl? The answer is not quite. While it's safe in extreme moderation, it poses a problem and can cause major damage to birds if fed to them by just about anyone and they come to rely on it. That's why it's important that we're following rules in public spaces. Thank you for joining me for our first episode of Animal Mysteries and Misconceptions. And thank you to our sponsor this week, KeyBank, for giving us the opportunity to continue to provide educational content to our community. See you next time as we take on another mystery or misconception and figure out if something is fact or fiction.